take a chair and sit outside and just watch.
They would learn more.
They would learn a lot more than
watching TV.
They're all going to go out into their own little field of reality when they grow up. But if you implant that seed about how unique the environment is and how unique the critters are that live there, when they go to make decisions about that or talk to people about that, they'll always have a fond spot in their heart for that environment.
It's obviously, the great audience to try to impress upon the importance of doing something, the importance of trying to preserve our environment, and that's the group that's going to take care of the coral reefs and the forests and the earth for the next 50 years.
Everything really is connected, and if you respect the earth and the environment and everything else that lives here as such, you'll have a much better understanding and respect for the whole entire earth.
A lot of them, they grow up and live down here, but they don't go diving, they don't fish, they don't really appreciate what we have because they're busy on their little computers or they're out watching television instead of enjoying, something that's people die to come and see.
The internet mentality and being on the web and Facebook and all that social media is still so entertaining to them that even the natural world sometimes, especially if you live down here and you see it every day, you're like, I'd rather stay inside today.
They almost take it for granted, just like somebody in the Rockies might take for granted the view of the mountains and the beauty of the Colorado Rockies. So that happens down here too. You kind of get used to clear water and fish swimming all around you and tropical weather. You get used to that, and unfortunately you don't appreciate it as much.
We really want people to get outside instead of being like video games and
Going
TV
out.
and that, because it's fun for a while, but then it really.
If you have to cut a teacher, a lot of times they will cut a science teacher or a history teacher, somebody that isn't necessarily teaching to a test.
We have no government support whatsoever, not financial support, physical support. We like what you do.
Along with that goes your field trips and outdoor activities, anything like that gets cut. So anytime you go for a grant or whatnot, you're hoping to get that because chances are the school can't fund it.
As our program has grown, the results that they're seeing out on the reef are more and more exciting, and so with each generation of kid or a student that comes through our program, they're more excited because they're really seeing that this is working.
They get to do something so cool that you won't get to do if you go out with a regular dive shop. You can go out, you can grab some corals, you can plant them on the reef, you can actually make a difference.
They're just so excited because they feel like, they've seen what we can do, they've seen what these corals are going to do in a year, and now they've got a chance to put it down there.
Oh man, this is so awesome. I just planted a threatened piece of coral. Look what I did today.
Since 1985, we've been doing marine education programs here on Key Largo. And our focus is on the holistic interdependence of the ecology, of the ecosystem here. We're not all just about the coral reef, because the coral reef isn't just about the coral reef. We teach about the seagrasses and the mangroves and all of the other connected habitats that support the coral reef. We take students out that live here in the Keys that have never been to the reef, and they're, 12 years old.
This is Family Science Night, and we're putting a couple of different science nights on throughout all the Upper Keys schools. The kids are in there and they are completely hands-on. They're loving, they're touching, and they're exploring, which is exactly what we want these kids to be doing. All these wonderful organizations that we have down here in the Keys are really, really good at getting the kids out on the water, getting them out in the environment so that they can learn and preserve.
Just wanted to create a web show to show people what to do in the Keys. The Kids in the Keys has brought some people from Germany actually down here, and that was actually really interesting because they're like, oh yeah, we saw your website, we decided to come down. And
we've been working on picking up trash and like recycling, and
we've been trying to get our school on it. We're trying to get our principal to put a link to our website on there.
By transporting kids through this little website too, they can introduce kids to another part of the world and make them appreciate even their little area more. So
I see manatees every day and it doesn't get boring because I see families, I see like friends messing around with each other, I see babies, I see injured ones. It's really interesting.
that's why we kind of did the Kids in the Keys, so that they could show how lucky they are and really even learn themselves how fortunate.
Don't rely just on your teachers. I used to be a high school teacher. It's very difficult for them to teach your kids everything. Be educators yourself. Encourage education. That's how you get your kids interested in education and in creating this cycle of learning. And if you enjoy learning, they will enjoy learning.